So, we went on holiday for the first time in a while. We absolutely did not have the money for it, but we really needed a break. We love working on videos, but with our in-person jobs, real-life events, and all the work we put into our art, we were a little burnt out. So, in the spur of the moment, we booked some really cheap flights to France. We had no specific plans, aside from just try to chill out and relax. ¿Dónde está biblioteca? So, we headed to the airport. Obviously, we had to get some pre-flight drinks because flying in a metal tube that defies physics is a tad anxiety-inducing. And then we got to board a shuttle to the gate. I'm a simple creature, so that was a really cool experience. The flight was surprisingly really chill. We left and landed on time with 0 issues. And we were in and out of the airport like it was a casual stroll through a heavily secured park. We stayed in the south of France. It was still surprisingly warm even though it was October, relaxing in the autumn sun surrounded by vineyards. So we spent a good amount of time wandering through them. And since it was harvest season, we arrived just in time to see the grapes being harvested by these strange tall machines that fit perfectly over the grapevines. Since most of the grapes in the area will be fermented into various alcohols, this process is incredibly indiscriminate about what it pulls from the vine. It was a bad day to be a snail chilling in the French sun. On one of the days we took a trip to Angoulême, the comic capital of France. Walking the old streets, you can really feel that title. The city was covered in art. It's a beautiful place just to wander around and look at the dozens of murals. We spent most of our time in the old town, exploring cramped alleyways with specialty shops on every corner. The most interesting for us was a shop called MangaKat. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but we've never seen a manga specialty store in the UK. I think I went to one in Amsterdam, but we just don't get these kinds of shops near us. We mentioned in our main channel video on manhwa, and manga that bookshops have been stocking more manga, and that they turn up way more often, but never like this. Not an entire bookshop where manga outnumbers Western novels. In fact, I don't think we saw any Western novels there. The variety of manga in this shop was genuinely so exciting, it felt like being a kid again. The first floor was specifically curated to cater to all the different manga demographics. We even saw Taiwanese manhwa there. The second floor had a whole area dedicated to romance and LGBT stories, which was so nice to see. And the top floor had a whole ass One Piece art exhibit. It was a little bare, but look at this, we just stumbled into this place. In the UK, at least near us, this is so rare. If you know of any manga exclusive shops in and around London, please let us know because we need more of this without a 10-hour trip to France. MangaKat was exciting, but the main reason we were in this city was to visit a comic museum.
Musée de la bande dessinée.
We descended down the gorgeous streets admiring the views and crossed a really damn cool and really long bridge before arriving right outside the museum. My knowledge of French comic characters extended to like Asterix and Tintin, but basically nothing else. So I was so excited to learn more about it. Just seeing manga displayed so prominently in and around the city was really cool. It just felt like the city understood and respected something that doesn't get much respect in the UK. But also, we don't have big displays like these, even in those few manga-heavy bookshops. In England, at least where we're from, it feels like traditional art is respected, but comics and animation aren't so much. It's a much deeper topic that definitely requires a lot more research, but that's just the feeling walking through the city and the museum made us feel. But let's talk about the museum. This place was massive. It started with an exhibit on the history of food in comics, a topic that I'm now super interested in. The examples didn't just stop at French comics, they had comics from all around the world: Argentina, Belgium, Italy, and most excitingly for our weebasses, Japan. There was even manga there that neither of us had heard of, which is generally quite rare. It introduced us to so many stories and ideas and went on for so long, we naively assumed this was the entire exhibit, but it just kept going. The second exhibit was more of a general collection of comics and the art they had. And good God was it a lot. There was a vague history of comics with the areas dedicated to different movements, but it wasn't exactly a linear thing. It was pretty impressive nonetheless. And seeing a lot of original comic manuscripts was really cool, like this use of white paint for highlights or the rough sketches and thumbnailing. The third exhibit was this massive, extensive, never-ending Marvel Comics section. They had original pages, associated art, even a recreation of a New York balcony for the Spider-Man section. You ended that section walking through a corridor of hundreds of comics that I believe Marvel donated themselves.
I took a lot of photos here to send to my dad, who is a massive Marvel nut, but it was really interesting for us too, even though it was entirely in French at points. Using our baseline understanding and non-existent French to vaguely decode the plaques was actually a quite fun puzzle. Of course we could have used Google Translate, but where's the fun in that?
The final exhibit was about a French comic I had never heard of. Lou, a comic about a girl and her mother that started in 2004 and is still ongoing. The stories are short, relatable skits at the beginning, but slowly grow into a larger story as you follow Lou as she grows up, and also at one point, glowing rocks fall from the sky. Ah, puberty. Apparently the sci-fi elements he brought in were partially inspired by the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which we both fangirled over in the museum. The creator, Julian Neal, wanted to write a story about a cool female protagonist for his newborn daughter. Maybe he had the protagonist age with his daughter so she could grow up alongside her. Or maybe it was just to avoid writing the same scenario over and over. Either way, it's a nice change from the eternal 12-year-old protagonist. It's super wholesome, and I've started reading it because of how well the exhibit presented it. It's pretty inspiring, actually. The art doesn't look particularly technically difficult, but the environments are a massive standout. Their run-down little flat feels so full of life and welcoming, and the city itself is picturesque in its own wonky-looking way. It makes me feel like I could start a comic. Maybe I will, who knows? And as an addition, while editing this video, I've caught up with all the English volumes of Lou. It's really, really good, the story's really sweet, and the parallels between the mother and the daughter are it's such a fun story, and I need to find more translated chapters because I need to know where this story goes. While we were in Angoulême, we may have bought a few things, and that's why we have no money for food this month. So if you're enjoying our video, or enjoy our normal videos over on our main channel, then feel free to check out our Patreon. If you subscribe, you get a whole load of cool bonuses, and we get to eat real food, which is cool. Now let's have a look at what we actually bought. So I got from the museum, the manga museum, or the comic museum, I got this, which is Bright Story. It's very good, the art is gorgeous, it's in French, but, you know, I'm just looking at the pretty pictures, so it's fine. I think it was, €3, which is really good.
Yeah, they had this, whole scheme thing, in the museum and in the manga shop we went, of these €3 manga, and so I got the first volume of Darwin's Game. Also in French, but I like it, and I'm willing to pay €3 for it. Also, they all have dust covers, which is really interesting.
It's really cool.
That was something I noticed.
It feels fancier.
It does feel fancier.
And then, of course, you got the first 2 volumes of Magical Girl Holy Shit.
Which I think I have read. Because I'm pretty sure this is Magical Girl Apocalypse. But it was buy one, get one free, basically.
Speaking of get free, we got quite a lot of stuff for free from the MangaKat shop. We got this, and then of course we got Smoking Behind the Supermarket. These are all free first chapters.
Yeah, I think some... Oh yeah, here, so... This here says it's free. And these are little adverts, basically, but it's just the first chapter of all of these manga. As kind of a previs almost. Yeah,
it's really cool actually. We got as many as we could carry. As many as we could comfortably go, hey, can we take all of these?
We did also buy some of the manga from there because we felt bad for taking all of them.
Yeah, but we took quite a lot of them. Of course, we also got Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint.
This one's just a leaflet, but it's pretty, and it's basically a print. This is just telling you when it's gonna come out. But look at that. It looks really cool. And I love Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint.
So I think these came with if you ordered X amount of the manga, you got some free stuff.
Yeah, to give out to people, I think.
Yeah, so we got some really cool ones. We got this Radish, which comes with this one, The Legendary Hero is Dead. We got this little, I think it's a sticker, or is it just a...
I don't know, it's cute.
Little printed thing. We've got some bookmarks as well. We've got 2 very exciting ones. Not to say Dazai's not exciting, but this is the least exciting of the 4 bookmarks we got.
So I got this one, which is for Asumi, and I can't remember what the English title is. I think it's keeps visiting lesbian brothels, but I really enjoyed it, and I was not expecting to see this.
And I got this one from The One, which is a Taiwanese manhwa that I have not seen sold anywhere ever, or anyone has ever talked about it. I've never seen anyone speak about it, so it was super cool just to see it there. And yeah, all of this stuff we picked up for free. So we bought these two things. It
was €9.
€9, and then all of this for free, and then I also bought this because I wanted it.
And they were literally just in piles in front of the till. So I thought it was like stock that was gonna go on the shelves, so I was like looking for it, and I was like, I swear to God, like this means like free. And I was like there on my phone googling things in French, and I was like, so I like took all of it up, and I was just like, c'est prix?
C'est prix?
And then she responded to me in English, as everyone did in France when I attempted to speak French to them.
But yeah, no, that was super exciting. And I just going to a place where everything is manga. Like, everything is manga, there's free manga stuff. It felt like the person who was running that place really knew what they were talking about as well. Like, the way everything was displayed, it was actually awesome.
Yeah, they did have a, like, I guess, like, book section, like, not manga, but it felt kind of like the way the manga section does in every single bookshop in the UK.
Yeah, just like, some books.
Here's some, like, shells of that shit. You know? Like, it was so cool. It makes it, like, both of us want to run a manga shop.
I know, right?
Think of all of the free French manga we could get.
Or just regular manga.
But that's the thing, like, I don't know if you get this in the UK.
I don't know either.
Because, like, I've never been to, like, a place that would have it, because, like, it's not like Waterstones is gonna give you shit for free.
If this is a thing, nowhere in England is giving it out for free either way.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is awesome, to be honest.
It's so cool.
While we were in France, we also went and visited the Cognac Jewellery School, where we designed and made some jewellery. Inspired by the museum, I wanted to try and recreate the Great Wave by Hokusai in ring form. The process was really fun and easy to understand. I only messed up a few times, resulting in these 2 rings. I'm actually really proud of them, and I've been showing them off when I go outside.
I went way more weeby and made a pendant inspired by Monokuma from Danganronpa. It took most of a day to complete, and so I found myself thinking quite deeply on why I liked the game and anime, and how creating from passion feels in general. It was a very meditative experience, and while it isn't the most professional looking thing, I can guarantee it's one of a kind.
So if you're ever in the Cognac region of France, you have to check out the Cognac Jewellery School. And if you can't, they have a YouTube channel that I actually edited for in the past, so I might be a little biased. But the videos are really fun, and they have cute whippets. After that, we spent the rest of the holiday relaxing by the pool when it wasn't raining and eating tasty French food.
I had set myself the personal goal to read all of Tower of God, but only managed some 300 chapters out of 600 across the holiday. It just keeps on going, but very fun. And it was the ideal way to distract from the hell that was our flight back. We really used up all our luck on the flight there. From being delayed for 3 hours to having turbulence constantly, and then having to sprint through London, we somehow managed to get basically every form of public transport possible just to get home 4 hours after we planned, on the last train humanly possible. Exhausted and hungry, and maybe crying just a little bit, it almost undid the hard work we'd put into relaxing. But I'm super glad we managed to go on holiday this year. It was refreshing, and I feel super ready to panic and try to get everything ready for our stall at MCM Comic Con London. Maybe write half a YouTube script too. Speaking of Comic Con London, we're going to be selling our art there next weekend, the 25th, 26th, and 27th. We're in the Creator Pavilion. It's going to be super exciting. If you can't make it, feel free to check out our Ko-fi, where we have all the same shit, but like, online. Wish us luck!